back to BTCS's channel, building industry-leading blockchain solutions. And joining to discuss the recent news, what's driving the stock, and so much more, Charles Allen, the CEO, joining us first and foremost. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me back.
I love having you back on, especially in the volatile realm of crypto that is starting to do exceptionally well here, actually, in 2025. And I wouldn't mind talking about some of your decision making, especially just recently. You're arranging financing to buy up to 57.8 million worth of ETH. Do you want to break down this decision, what you guys see in ETH, and maybe just tell us what this news means for the company?
Well, I think we're extremely bullish on ETH as we have been since 2021. It is the number two blockchain, second only to Bitcoin. It has tremendous utility, and we see its use case as the backbone for how real world assets move around the world going forward. That's kind of like the future of finance and beyond, as far as we see it. As far as the financing, it just seemed like a good time to buy. I mean, obviously, it would have been better to buy at 1800, but still arranging a financing with a conversion price of $5.85 compared to our, $2 stock price at the time of closing the deal. Yes, we had to issue some warrants, but those strike at 275, which is about a 40% step up from the current stock price. So if you just, when I look at this transaction compared to, traditional registered directs, which are at the market and, heavy warrant coverage, this is just an amazing deal for us to grow the balance sheet in a much less dilutive fashion than doing a registered direct and even using our ATM, which is probably the cheapest cost of capital compared to most financing measures. So it was just great timing, and doing it the way we did it, which is I think we raised about 7.8 in principal, about 7.4 in funds in with the ability arrangement that we could go back and get, with mutual agreement up to another $50 million is huge. So right now, I think we're like the only, pure play public company on the Nasdaq with, sizable ETH on its balance sheet with vertically integrated operations around Ethereum infrastructure. So it's pretty exciting times.
Yeah, definitely appreciate the insight there. Maybe roll back to you recently just posted earnings, and I know they're heavily depicted on the volatility of crypto. And I wouldn't mind just discussing, because I guess the best highlight was that for the quarter, you were back up 274%, 1.7 million, but some volatility in between. You want to just maybe give us the highlights?
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it. Revenue was great year over year. Obviously, it was down a little bit from Q4. Q4 was last year was a great quarter, but also the price of Ethereum was much higher. So if we were to normalize for the price of Ethereum, we've actually done, from an operational standpoint, we have a tremendous amount of developments that came to fruition in Q1 that we've been working about and talking about. And so, the fact that we're down a little bit quarter over quarter is really not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially considering how low ETH got during Q1, which has subsequently bounced back. So, if I had to highlight the quarter, it was a solid quarter, right? With macroeconomic effects changing the top line.
Yeah, and I definitely appreciate you just taking time to brief us on some of these updates as we pass it over to the viewers. If you want news catalysts as it comes down the wire like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. But on that note, as always, I appreciate Charles joining us here, and we'll catch you in the next one.